Okay, welcome everyone to tonight's Ordinary Council meeting, 22nd of January 2025. It's the first Ordinary Council meeting of the year, so Happy New Year to everyone. Look forward to a great year. We've got plenty of stuff coming up. Tonight's meeting is a little bit different from the rest of them, from February to December, because we didn't have a quorum, so tonight is a decision-making night, but during each item we will have a chance for questions and answers or queries on those, so it's a little bit different. So item number 1 is declaration of opening is made at 5:30 p.m. Item number 2 is opening procedures. So 2.1 is acknowledgement of country. So as we're on Ballarat country, the Shire of Northern would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians on the land in which we meet. That's the Ballarat here and the Whadjuk people to the west of the Shire, and are both of the Noongar Nation, and we pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging. Item 2.2 is recording of council meetings. Members of the council, that's councillors and members of the gallery, that's public, members of the public, are advised that this meeting is being live streamed and audio recorded and made available on the Shire of Northern's YouTube channel. If members of the public would like to have access to the recording of this meeting, they can do so via the Shire of Northern website. Item number 3 is attendance, 3.1 attendees. If I go from left to right as per normal, Councillor Bigland, Councillor Gira, Councillor Ryan, Councillor Williams, Councillor Mancelli, President Antonio, Councillor Atherton, Councillor Polton and Councillor Hughes are all in attendance. And then we have the staff, and I've just done a check and a head count. All the staff as listed in here are in attendance. So item 3.2 is apologies, that is nil. And we go to page 7, item 3.3, approved leaves of absence, that is nil. 3.4, absent, that is nil. Item number 4 is disclosure of interest, which I will read through, and as the item comes up, I'll read it through again. So, and just for members of the public, if you're watching this, councillors can make a declaration prior to the meeting, which they've done, but if an item comes up and they do realise they've got a declaration, they can do so before we discuss and make a decision on that item. So all the disclosure of interest tonight relate to item 13.1.2, Walk of Fame selection panel. So President Antonio, that's me, has declared impartiality. Nominees for the selection panel are well known to President Antonio. Councillor Polton has declared impartiality. Councillor Polton knows people that are on the panel, saw the selection list. Councillor Ryan has declared impartiality. Candidates proposed are known to Councillor Ryan. Councillor Gierak has declared impartiality. Some of the nominees are known to Councillor Gierak. Councillor Hughes has declared impartiality. A number of the applicants are known to Councillor Hughes. Councillor Atherton has declared impartiality. Potential nominees, expressions of interest are known to Councillor Atherton. Councillor Bigland has declared impartiality. Some of the expressions of interest or nominees are known to Councillor Bigland. Councillor Mancelli has declared impartiality. Some of the nominees are known to Councillor Mancelli. Councillor Williams has declared impartiality. Several nominees for the panel are known to Councillor Williams. The report was written by Councillor Williams' daughter. So every declaration of interest is impartial. So we're on page 9. That's announcements by the presiding member without discussion. So that is taken as read. Then we head to page 11. So we go to item number 6, which is public questions. And I will go to the member of the public and just see if there's any question. Just confirm there's no questions. So item number 7 is response to previous public questions taken on notice, that is nil. Item number 8 is receiving of petitions, presentations and deputations. 8.1 petitions, that is nil. 8.2 presentations, that is nil. 8.3 deputations, where you can make a deputation to make a statement to council, and I'm just going to check with a member of the public just in case. Still nil, so that's nil. So we're now on page 12. So item number 9 is applications for leave of absence, and there's a recommendation there to grant Councillor Hughes leave of absence from 7th February to 25th, 25 inclusive. Councillor Appleton moved, Councillor Mancelli seconded. Anyone like to speak against? So all those in favour by a show of hands, that's 9-0, that's carried. So item number 10 is confirmation of minutes. 10.1 is confirmation of minutes from the ordinary council meeting held 18th December 2024. Just wanted to check if there's any questions. There's no questions, I'm going to defer to Councillor Hughes.
Yeah.
Councillor Hughes is moving, Councillor Michelle is seconding. Anyone likely to speak against? So all those in favour by a show of hands, that's 9-0, that's carried. So item number 11 is items brought forward for the convenience of those in the public gallery. I'm not aware of any items, so I'm going to continue on. I've got confirmation there's no items to bring forward, so I'm going to continue on. So page 13 is item number 12, reports of committee meetings, that is nil. Item 13 is officer reports. 13.1 is CEO's office. 13.1.1 is local government ordinary elections 2025, and there's a recommendation on page 15. I was just opening it up to see if there's any questions or queries first on this item, councillors. Councillor Gierek.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just one question regarding the increase in fee. Is that due to postage, increased postage costs, or what?
Did you get the answer for that?
Yes, Councillor Gierek, the costs are based on cost recovery for the Electoral Commission, so they are charged close to the Sheriff Lobby.
Thank you.
So if there's no further questions, I'm going to go to Councillor Mencheli got up first and Councillor Ryan seconded. Councillor Mencheli's moved, Councillor Ryan seconded. Anyone likely to speak against? So all those in favour by a show of hands, that's 9-0, that's carried. We now go to page 21. So this is item 13.1.2, Walk of Fame selection panel. So with this, just got to read this declaration out. So for President Antonio, Councillor Polton, Councillor Ryan, Councillor Gierek, Councillor Hughes, Councillor Appleton, Councillor Bigland, Councillor Mencheli, Councillor Williams. Every councillor and president have declared an impartiality interest in this item and declare that they will consider the matter on its merit and vote accordingly. So we have 13.1.2 and we have a recommendation on page 24. Just before we start, there is a confidential attachment, councillors. So if we do have a discussion, can we please refer to the people who've expressed an interest or nominees by their number, which is also in the report. So we'll try and keep away from names because that's a confidential item. Question, Councillor Hughes?
Are we going to select more than one? Because one's not many.
That is an option we have got, and there's a process for that. So if I'll just say to councillors, if we did want to have a bit of an open discussion, we can get someone to move, we suspend standing orders, so we can have a bit of discussion about it. Move that way. Councillor Mencheli is going to move that we suspend standing orders. Councillor Hughes is going to second. That's procedural, so that's the vote. All those in favour of suspending standing orders? That's 9-0, that's carried. So people are able to speak freely and more than once with this. So what we can do is have a discussion first. If we're still recording, and we'll still ask councillors refer to the nominees by their number. Please, Councillor Gierek.
So first of all, I just would like to ask, I would like to ask what would be the procedure to increase the number of people.
I'll just get the officer to answer that because, is that right?
What would be the procedure of
Increasing the
number of community members?
Good question.
So the policy that was adopted by council would say one community member. So what we would need to do is move an amendment to the policy first to increase it to the number of members you would like that to be, and then vote on that, and then we would do the selection of the nominees for that number of positions that you've agreed to after that.
So because we suspended standing orders, so we can have a discussion about how many we want first. the staff have got it ready that we can change that, so that's already ready to change the policy. So if you'd like to lead a discussion on that, Councillor Gurek.
But, just another supplementary question, is there a recommendation by the Shire administration what would be the optimal number of people on the panel? Because like, we might decide we want to train further too many, sometimes too many people on a panel can cause problems. I don't know.
Probably the staff probably have an idea, but it's probably better if we leave with the number.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So then at the moment, I'll just check with the staff. The policy is 2 councillors or well, 2 officers of council.
So the section on the screen with bullet points, that's essentially the current policy with the highlighted section. If council was to increase the members, that's the element of the policy that they would be changing.
Yeah. So to answer your question, Councillor Gurek, my thought would be, because we're suspending standard orders, that we have the members of the public don't outnumber Shire or Northern representatives. So if there's 2, then I'd recommend 2. So if we wanted to have more councillors or staff, and then we'd have 3 and 3, or wouldn't have 3 members of the public and 2 on council.
Thank you.
That's my thought. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. But I could be wrong. That's just a thought.
No,
It's up to council.
Yep.
So councillors got thoughts about the number because there was 11 people who showed interest. 11 people who showed interest.
I've got thoughts of 3 actually. I thought it should be because if people are laying out and leaving that, you're going to, they're not around to perform their duties, are they? So you've got to have more than 1. So you've got to at least talk 3, and I like 3. So.
See what councillors think.
Well,
Councillor Shelley first, then Councillor Gilligan. Then Councillor Gilligan.
President, look, I favour having at least 2 people on the selection panel. Basically, one to attend the selection process and a proxy or reserve, if you like, in the event that the other person can't make it. But more than happy to go to 3 if it falls that way.
Yeah, Councillor Gilligan.
If I'm reading it correctly, we've got Shire President and or replacement and CEO, so that gives us 2. So if you're going to nominate 3, we would then need to potentially increase the representation. So 2 would be 1 plus a proxy would be my thoughts as well. So 1.2.
Yep. Good thought, Councillor Gilligan.
yes, I agree. My suggestion would be to nominate them, 2 panel members plus 1 proxy.
Councillor Appleton.
Personally, I think having 1 member of the public would be enough. If we did decide we needed to amend it, the policy will come up for review within 2 years. I think if we have 1 strong community member to help initialise this walk of fame, if we decide that in the long term we do need more people on that committee, we can do that as part of the policy review.
So other thoughts, councillors? So, so what I might do is I might request that we reinstate voting orders, and then whoever's brave enough can move whichever one they want to do to change the policy first. So this is about the policy, not about the actual members. So is someone willing to reinstate standing orders? Councillor Appleton's moved. Councillor Shelley's seconded. That's proceeded. I'll put that straight to the vote. So all those in favour by show of hands. 9-0, and that's carried. It doesn't mean that we can't suspend standing orders when we get to the people as well. So we're just doing it step by step. Now, if someone brave enough to move which way they'd like it to go.
Yeah, I would like to move that we have 2 community members plus 1 proxy.
So, the change the policy. So we'll just make sure we've got that on the board. Once Graham's just hang on the board, that's old fashioned. So Councillor Garrett, yes, that reads as you've got it, you're moving 2 independent community members and 1 proxy community member as well.
Yes.
So before we proceed, is there anyone willing to second that?
I'll second it. Actually,
So is anyone going to speak against that? Councillor Garrett.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yes, I was very impressed by the number of nominees for the panel and to encourage participation from the community in panels in the future. I think it's probably a wise thing to review the policy. And this way, at least we've got a correct representation from the community and Shire on the panel. So hopefully this will make the community feel more involved in the selection process of the participants.
Thank you, Councillor Garrett. Councillor, I'll go to you first because you said you indicated you were going to speak again.
Thank you, Mr. President. So I haven't made up my mind yet in terms of which way I vote yet, but I'm going to convince myself for it or convince myself to vote against it. But anyway, so one of the arguments that I want councillors to turn their minds to is that this is a brand new idea for us. We proposed just 1 community member, and we have to thank the community for their participation. It's important to acknowledge because we got 11, which is fantastic. But we want over 11, and generally speaking, when we look at our history of community engagement, it's impressive that this particular project has got a lot of the community's imagination, which is fantastic. But we don't know what the future is going to hold in terms of whether we'll have the same level of participation next time out. And when it comes up for renewal. Now, if we have this status quo of 1 community representative, president or president's nomination, CEO, we can at least just try and use the test balloon, see how that works. Now, if the workload is intensive and we're not going to get a really good vote at the end of it, on that 2-year period, we can review the policy then with that knowledge. The other thing that I turn my mind to is that we're talking about people that have really contributed to the community, whether they're alive or whether they've since passed, and they've really impacted our community. So I was even turning my mind to, we have a member from the Historical Society here. Do we eventually, maybe as part of our review of the policy, invite some of our local historians who actually have a lot of working knowledge as to the famous people or the people that have contributed significantly within our community? Now, I don't know, that was just an idea and a thought that I had this afternoon when I was turning my mind to things. So I'm of the view at this point in time, and I'll listen to my fellow councillors in terms of this debate, that we should remain with status quo as it was currently put, of only one community member, and then we see how that goes, and then maybe review the policy and then maybe put it in place again. But at this stage, I'm not settled on that, but they're my thoughts in terms of why we probably should allow the motion to be as it was originally with just one community member, but I'm open to be persuaded. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, councillor. Further speakers for? Councillor Hughes.
I think it's good to have more than one, because Councillor Ryan was saying that you might have the interest, but the more public get involved at the beginning, the more interest you might have, and keep that interest. I just think, and also, as like I said before, if you have one person and that person's not around, sick, on holidays or whatever, got no local person, so I think you've got at least two. Same.
Councillor, further speakers against? Councillor Appleton?
To be honest, I'm probably going to vote for Maria Gierak's motion. My main point is, though, we go through the process of having policy workshops to guide the Shire, and then when we come to the decision, we're amending the policies to fit what we feel like on the day. I'd like you guys, when we have our workshops, to really focus in on these sort of issues, because to rewrite policy to fit what we want on the night is not the right way to do things. Thank you.
Thanks, Councillor Appleton. Councillor Colton speaking for the motion.
I think it's terrific to see that we've got 11 people put their hand up for this, and my feelings are for members of the public that want to be involved, then the better. 11 is probably too many. 3 would probably be adequate. I think 5 would be nice.
Councillor Bolton, further speakers against? Councillor Mancelli.
Yeah, Mr. President, we've had a resounding response to this request for selection committee members, and you know, there's a bit of quality in that particular list. There's some people there with some good experience, but I don't really want to see a situation where we overload the selection panel with 3 members. I'd personally like to see 2. I'd like to see 1 active member on the selection panel, with the second member being a proxy or a reserve in the event that the first nominated person can't make the meeting, which is...
No.
Sorry?
Oh, that's 2, is it? Oh, I thought it was 1 plus 1.
You're talking about...
No, we're just clarifying that the below the motion, Councillor Gierak's motion is just 2 independent members plus a proxy. So we're just clarifying that, so there's just, yeah, to just make sure we're not aware of that.
Councillor Hughes thought it was 1 plus 1, 1 plus the proxy.
Yeah, that's right. I've got that fairly clear in my mind.
No,
The motion is 2 plus 1.
2 plus 1.
2 plus 1. Well, I'm speaking against that, because I'm saying it should be 1
Yes.
independent member, community member, plus a proxy or a reserve. And I'll rest my case on that. I do appreciate the fact that we did have a lot of interest in this, and unfortunately we can't accommodate all of it.
Thanks, Councillor Mancelli. Is there any further speakers for the motion? Further speakers against? Councillor Gierak, you've got right to provide.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yes, I acknowledge that there is extra work to amend the policy, but policies are working documents, and sometimes they need to be amended to fit the purpose. I think in this instance, probably it's a good idea to amend the policy, and my apologies to Shire Administration for the extra work. That's my call. But I think we need to look at the community's interest and the community's interest in participating in this process. And I think inside that, I stick to my decision that I recommend the 2 community members plus the proxy.
Thank you, councillor Guirac. So with that, I'll put councillor Guirac's motion, so everyone's clear what they're voting for. This is for 2 independent community members. We've got 2 Shire reps, 2 independent community members and 1 proxy. So all those in favour of councillor Guirac's motion by show of hands? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All those against? 2. That's carried. So it's carried 7-2. Okay, so now we can get back to the original motion, which is on page 24. Now, if anyone would like to discuss the nominees, I would recommend that we get someone to suspend standing orders.
Move that way.
Councillor Mincelli is going to move it with suspend standing orders. Councillor Ryan's going to second. That's procedural, so I'll put that vote straight away. All those in favour by a show of hands? That's 9-0, that's carried. Just a reminder, the camera is still running, but Anne, please try not, or do not mention names because it's a confidential attachment. So we've got numbers in there. If you can see them, if you're on your screens, you'll be able to enlarge that. If you'd like any discussion on those. And just with the process, we'll do the same as we did for the Citizens of the Year. Once we've got through it, we'll be putting our votes. It'll be the top 3 that would be selected once we get to that stage. So is there anyone that would like to open discussion with the nominees, regarding the nominees?
Yes, Mr. President, I'd like to, without revealing the particular nominee, I do recall some time back we did have a member of the public come to the council and talk about the Walk of Fame, and I would ask the fellow councillors around the table to give consideration to this particular person. Interestingly, do you want me to disclose the number?
You can disclose the number.
Yeah, it's number 9. In terms of number 4, I'm interested to see that this guy is teamed up with a lady from Kalgoorlie who writes some beautiful articles in the Kalgoorlie Miner, Moya Sharp, and delves into the history of the goldfields. And I think this guy is a bit of a historian. So he'd be my second candidate at number 4. And in terms of the third candidate, as has been agreed by resolution, it'd be the person at number 6, who obviously has quite a bit of knowledge around the town of Northam, and would be fairly familiar with the people that have made their name in this town. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Ryan.
Thank you, President. I am in agreement in regards to number 9 and number 4. However, I am turning my mind to candidate number 5 insofar as it's the next generation. I think that is important in terms of keeping a balance within the plan. Whether we're deciding this, I think that would be useful. Particularly, it's an important honour within our community, and I think that that particular person would bring that balance, particularly buying in the next generation and appreciating that person for many generations to come. So I think that would be useful. That'd be my own addition to what Councillor Mincelli has put forward.
Thanks, Councillor Ryan. General comments or anyone?
Can I just one comment? I agree with number 4 and 9. I think it's excellent. I just want to make a point for a number 11. This point is, I've got to be careful.
I didn't say number 11, that's all you had to say.
This person was the original one to bring it up at a Chamber of Commerce meeting about 12 or 15 years ago. And Michael Ryan took it on, Councillor Ryan took it on, he might forget, and put it up at the Chamber. Yeah. And since then it's been picked up by other people.
Other people, yeah.
Other comments, councillors? Councillor Girak?
Yes, my initial idea was number 4 and number 5 as well. So I agree that that would bring substantial knowledge and diversity to the panel. So I encourage my fellow councillors to consider the nominations.
We're not debating, we're just sort of discussing. So it's probably the other question I'd probably ask is there, and you've got to be careful, is there anyone on there you don't think should be on there? But it sounds what people are saying, it sounds like thinking very similar. Councillor Williams.
It's not actually the specific person themselves, it's more employees of the Shire. I'm just wondering whether they're not actually, there's nothing in the policy to say that they can't nominate or be part of the panel. I'm just wondering what the exception of the community would be if we had one of the community members was actually a member of staff. Needs to be something in the policy, or whether that's just something that's yeah, that we're not coming.
I've got to ask a question now, just to clarify. Is one of the numbers, and Councillor Wright asking the same question, is one of the numbers a current member of staff? Yeah, I'll just clarify. Yeah, but that's what I thought, I just wanted to clarify. Yeah. Yeah. Any other comments, councillors? Because what we'll do, so everyone's clear, we'll do the same as we did for the citizenship awards. Bring standing orders back in, everyone will do a vote, and so there's no debate. Oh, still can have debate, because once we do the nominations, someone can move, speak for or against, once we've got them in there. So is everyone clear on that? So can I just ask someone moves that we reinstate that one? Councillor Hughes first, Councillor Mencheli second, Councillor Ryan. To proceed, we'll put that straight to the vote. All those in favour by show of hands, that's 9-0. So can we please put, I'll just put the numbers, that's right. If you do that, staff will collect that. We can probably have a 5-minute recess. We'll just I'll catch that. And can we, do I don't mention that, can I do it?
And we don't, I believe they're just about finished, so.
Okay, that's fine. Let's say that that'll be, we still need someone to move it anyway, so we've got the recommendation on page 24, and based on our recent change to policy, point 2 of that recommendation will be appoint Andrew Quinn and Eric Chamberlain as community members to the Walk of Fame, and with the proxy being Michelle Blackhurst. So that's what the voting said, so I'll need someone to move that. Councillor Manchelli is moving, Councillor Appleton is seconding. Is there anyone likely to speak against? So we'll just make sure that's all good. Yep. So, so I'm going to put that to vote if there's no speakers against. All those in favour by show of hands? That's 9-0, that's carried. So we now go to page 29. Item 13.2 is engineering services, is nil. 13.3 is development and community services, that is nil. Item 13.4 is corporate services. 13.4.1 is accounts and statements of accounts, December 2024. There's a recommendation on page 31. There was some queries put in, so I'll just quickly go through those. So there's a query on legal fees for which matter, and that was preparation relation to leases, so preparation for varied airfield hangars. There was a question on, this will all be in the minutes, so it's, that's why I'm not going through the numbers. Question on consulting services for engineering services, for which project, and that was a road safety audit for the Wellington Gordon Street roundabout. There was a query on catering for council meetings. There seemed to be a double up. What that was is that was invoices for November and September, and they just invoiced them at the same time. That's the way I read the answer. There was one from Pool Robotics Perth. What was the item for? That was for a new RoboVac for Northern Line Wundowie Pool. It's got a long way to travel between the two. Legal fees November 2024, for which matter. That was a lease for Killara Respite Centre lease. And professional fees for reviewing and building orders on one of our ratepayers' properties, I believe that is. And then there was a question, this was paid to a performer. It was for which programs or events, and that was a yarning singing workshop held in November, both on the 1st and 2nd November as part of BKB activations. So that's the questions I had and answers. Was there any further questions that I wasn't aware of with this? Councillor Bigland?
My question is in relation to the water invoice in page 32. I just note that both Clackline, Lockyer, the Bakersfield Rec Centre and the Keene Street water standpipes have significant increase in their costings. It might, compared to previous months, I'm just curious as to know why there's significant amount of money. I mean, obviously there's been a fire, but I wouldn't have thought, and I don't know, did they get the water out of those standpipes for the fire, or is it something else? Because the Keene Street one is actually $11,500.
Probably better
And
on,
I'm not
probably better on
expecting
notice,
them to take notice. I don't expect you to know the answer to that, so
Okay, better on notice if that's all right.
that's fine.
I suspect I know the answer, but I still take it on notice.
And just one other, in relation to the legal fees, is it worth the Shire having a look at their leases, because it appears that we are continually seeking legal. Every time we do a new lease, we're asking for new leases to be drawn up. Do we not have a template that we can use to try and reduce some of these costs of our legal fees?
We do set up a template where possible for those with similarities, such as the airfield. We still often, especially for companies, do get the solicitors to prepare it so they can do the appropriate background checks around, who's the director of the company and that sort of thing, so that it's legally valid. But yes, we do, and we do on-charge the legal fees as part of the lease agreement to the person who has the lease, with the exception of those that don't pay under the policy, such as in the community halls.
Thank you. So, any further questions, councillors? Councillor Giro?
Yes, just in regards to the other legal fee, regarding the building orders, is that something what we will be able to recover?
That's an ongoing legal matter for the State Administrative Tribunal, so there may be potentially some recovery of costs, but not guaranteed. So, yeah, it's still an ongoing issue that determination hasn't been made yet.
And thank you, the Acting Executive Manager, Corporate Services. Oh, you're going to be here for the next item as well, so I can't say thank you yet. So we've got Councillor Giro.
My apologies, can I just have one more question, because my understanding was that I will have to ask these questions again, but because Mr. President read it out, it will be captured in the.
It will be captured in the meeting, yes.
Thank you.
Yes. It's a recommendation on page 31. Councillor Ryan is moving. Councillor Hughes is seconded. Anyone likely to speak against? So all those in favour by a show of hands. That's 9-0, that's carried. We now go to page 75. Just got to find the right page. 75, so it's 13.4.2, monthly financial report for the period ending 31st of December 2024. There's a recommendation on page 77, so we haven't answered questions, so I'll just see if there's any questions. Councillor Beglan has a question.
It's just a follow-up on page 85 under Delacour Road. In December, I asked the question in relation to the actual versus the revised budget. So it says 198,080 and the actual is 398. My explanation in December was that it had been costed incorrectly. Is that still the case, and it's just due to timing that it hasn't been shifted? Thank you.
What is that?
Page 85, Jennifer Pullen, so it's halfway down. It's the middle Jennifer Pullen road.
Yeah,
It's the same question I asked in December.
I suspect that again, but I don't want to presume.
I'll just answer that one. Yeah, I think it would be the same scenario. We're still looking into the Jennifer roads because there are 4 different components of the roads that are being worked on. So it's possibly that there's some components in that road that refer to a specific other Jennifer, because you see we have 1, 2, 3, 4 separate.
I understand that. So what you're trying to explain is that they're probably encoded correctly.
Yes.
They've all gone to one as opposed to split between the 4.
Yes.
That was in December the same figure, or close to the same figure.
Yes.
And it was going to be rectified. So
Yes. So we're still waiting for the guys in engineering to give us the details as to which one refers to which, because they know the SLKs and we only see the amount that have been posted, but we can't know exactly which one refers to which.
no, thank you.
So no further questions, councillors. So there's a recommendation on page 77. Councillor Polton's moving, Councillor Roberts seconding. Anyone likely to speak against? So all those in favour by a show of hands. That's 9-0, that's carried. We now go to page 96. So we've got item 14, which is matters behind closed doors. So can I get someone to move that recommendation, please? Councillor Polton moved, Councillor seconded. That's procedural, but put straight to the vote. All those in favour by a show of hands. That's 9-0, that's carried. Yeah. So just cameras, so item 14.1, when matters behind closed doors, was the item called request to change method of valuation, A1326. The recommendation was the council rejects the request to change the valuation method from gross rental value, GRV, to unimproved value, UV, for assessment A1326. That's a predominant land use is considered residential, and that was carried 9-0. Everyone's aware of that, and that will be reflected in the minutes. Now, so we're on page 96 of our ordinary council meeting agenda. We have item number 15, the motions of which previous notice has been given. That's nil. Item 16 is urgent business approved by decision. That is nil. Item 17, declaration of closure, is made at 6:18 p.m. Thank you.